Um, yeah, this changes everything. Yeah, no drums tonight. Something tells me that tonight we need to get straight into it. I don't know what that was that I saw today. I don't know. I don't know if what happened today is going to affect all of our tomorrows, but I have a strong feeling that we messed up and messed up bad. And that wasn't you and it wasn't me, but it is we, and it's going to affect us. I don't know. I don't know if y'all saw the exchange today that happened in the Oval Office between President Zelensky of Ukraine and Donald Trump and JD Vance. If you saw it, I'm sure you have some opinions on it, whether you support it or whether you looked at that in disgust or like me looked at it in horror. I don't know about you, but I like to start my own fights. I don't like it when other people start my fights for me. I don't mind if my opponent starts the fight with me. But what I don't like is when somebody else that doesn't have anything to do with the fight and is not even going to jump in the fight starts the fight. So it's like the diabolical way that somebody would tell one party, like, listen, I just talked to such and such. Let's call them John and Vincent. Hey, John, I just talked to Vincent, and Vincent said that he's mad at you, and he's lost for words. And as soon as he sees you, it's on sight. So he's just gonna punch you in the face. And then Vincent, and then he goes to Vincent and tells Vincent, hey, yo, I just talked to John, and John said that when he sees you, it's on sight. No more words. He's pissed off. He's just gonna punch you in the face. So when John and Vincent see each other, then they just start swinging on each other. Nobody says anything because they made good on what they thought that the other person was going to do. Now, the reason that I'm using that scenario, the reason why I'm using that example is because that seems like what Donald Trump and JD Vance has done to the United States. It looks to me like they may have just sacrificed the United States. If you watch the video on YouTube, there was supposed to be a press conference today to discuss the United States continuing to provide aid to President Zelensky in Ukraine. So they were going to discuss what was going on with what was and what is going on with the war. Now, if you've been paying attention to the news outlets, you know that Donald Trump's stance on the war in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine, is that Zelensky is a dictator and he believes that they instigated the war to make Russia attack Ukraine. Now, anybody with half a brain knows that this isn't true. Anybody with half a brain, probably a 8-year-old, could probably figure out that this story doesn't have good legs. But because of the following that Donald Trump has nationally, and because of his way of manipulating the public into believing that the only news that they should believe is him and not anybody else. Well, I'm seeing all kinds of comments like, yes, this was a win for America. Yeah, Donald Trump stood strong. That's a show of strength. I don't know what people think strength is. But what I saw was the president of the United States basically sick the rest of the world on the United States. So the United States, in my view, is fair game now. Not just because of the way, not just because now all peace talks and talks of assistance to Ukraine have pretty much been suspended, but because of the way that it was done, how disrespectful it was, and how painfully clear that Donald Trump is clearly aligned with Russia. I don't see how this is going to end well. Now, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my paranoia. Maybe I'm taking this too far. Maybe I'm looking too deep into this. Maybe I'm looking deeper into this than I should be. Maybe. And maybe Recco should suck a dick. Maybe he should eat a big one. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I don't like it when somebody gets me into a fight. I'd rather pick my own battles, even if I'm the aggressor, even if I want to be a bully that day. I would rather it be me instead of somebody setting me up to have to fight so they can enjoy some pugilistic activities. I don't know. Well, are we bringing back World Star? I know World Star still exists, but are we bringing it back? World Star, World Star, World Star. I knew that when this administration won the presidency, when they won the election, I knew it was going to get bad before it got better, or worse before it got better. And it didn't disappoint. But this might be worse than I could have ever imagined. This may be worse than any of us have ever seen in our lives. But maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm being a pussy. Maybe I'm looking too deep into this. Maybe my crystal ball has a crack in it and no spirituality, and maybe I'm just off base. But I want to know from y'all, did you see it? Did you see the exchange, the argument, the back and forth between Vladimir Zelensky, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump? Did you see it? From your perspective, I'm interested to know what you saw. What did you see? What did it mean to you? What message came across to you when you watched that exchange? Because the press conference got called off because of this exchange in the Oval Office. Donald Trump said, and J.D. Vance and Donald Trump said that Zelensky was being disrespectful to them and to the American public, because from what Donald Trump was saying, he felt, and J.D. Vance, he felt like Zelensky was trying to use American propaganda to force the hand or make the office of the president look bad. If you watch the video, I don't see where he did that. What I did see was a man who is in turmoil, whose country is embroiled in a war because his country was attacked by an enemy who used to pretty much own his country when it was the USSR. And he wasn't going to allow somebody to pressure him into basically giving his enemy or his attackers a pass or try to make light of what has happened to his country. That's what I saw. I saw a man stand up for the citizens of his country, for the army of his country, and for the sovereignty of his country. That's what I saw. Now, if y'all saw something else, please let me know. Let me know. Let me know what really happened in the Oval Office between Trump, JD Vance, and Zelensky. What did you see? So Recco, so you can actually, okay. He says, I just saw Trump, JD, and Zelensky being unprofessional. Being unprofessional. I didn't see Zelensky being unprofessional. Not at all. If you think about it, what if the tables were turned? What if the tables were turned and the United States was at war with, I don't know, let's pick a country. Iraq or Afghanistan, who we've actually, been to war with. Imagine, I don't know, Bibi Netanyahu. No. Who's the Prime Minister of England? Who's the English Prime Minister? What's his name? It escapes me right now. Who is the Prime Minister of England?
According to Gov, UK, current role holder, Sir Keir Starmer became Prime Minister on the 5th of July.
Keir Starmer? Okay. Well, let's say Keir Starmer said, well, listen, United States, you provoked Afghanistan to, I don't know, fly planes into the World Trade Center. There's no proof that it was if that was Afghanistan or Pakistan or Iraq. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, yeah, you provoked them to do that, and you should, show a little grace and a little gratitude towards Afghanistan for doing that. Because they could have wiped you out if it wasn't for us giving you money, United States. How do you think that would have gone? How do you think that could have gone? And I think it's really interesting the way that President Trump and JD Vance throw around the words respect and talk about who is respectful and who isn't. Honestly, I can't think of an American president who has been less respectful of colleagues, constituents, and anybody else than Donald Trump. I can't think of anybody who even comes close. I can't think of anybody who has been more verbally reckless, who has shown more visibility, and who has seized the opportunity to involve himself in everything except for the job at hand of being president of the United States. I can't think of anybody else who has done it. Now you look at some of the people who are in his cabinet. Look at Mark Rubio. What did he used to call Mark Rubio when Mark Rubio was his opponent for the presidential race? Y'all remember? Little Mark Rubio. Little Mark Rubio. That's what he used to call him. So, and he always comes up with a name for everybody who he considers to be an opponent or anybody that he doesn't like, except Vladimir Putin. He never says anything bad or calls Putin out of his name. And that says a lot. Because he'll call any American out of their name, but he won't do that. Remember what he used to call Kim Jong-un? Rocket Man, remember? Remember Rocket Man? When he threatened, he said, if you don't stop making nuclear weapons or testing nuclear weapons, then there's going to be fire and fury. Remember? Picture it. Here it was, 2017, 2018. Y'all remember? And Kim Jong-un didn't stop doing shit. He said he would, and then he kept doing it. Like, who the fuck are you? You don't tell me what to do. Just because we had a couple of virgin drinks and shook hands and took a couple of nice pictures. But you don't tell me how to run my country. I do what I want to do. And I'll protect my country the way I see fit. But evidently, I guess it's not okay for Vladimir Zelensky to try to protect his country in the best way that he sees fit. So what we're really looking at right now is what's going to happen the day after. All of this took place on Friday, the last day of February. What's going to happen from March 1st on until, I don't know, 2026? What's going to happen? What is this year of 2025 going to hold in store for us? Because at this point, I don't think it looks good. I don't feel confident. I don't feel confident about the way this administration is handling anything. I knew this would be bad. I mean, if I haven't made it clear by now, I'm not a Trump fan. Not at all. I don't like him. I think he's dangerous. I think that he's mentally unstable. And I think that he's found a way to run his administration unchecked. And it's not by mistake. It's definitely by design. But I don't see how anything good can come out of this. Recco says, I think that's Trump's boyfriend. Nah, it was Lil Rocket Man. It was Little Rocket Man, wasn't it? Was it? All I remember is Rocket Man. I'm talking to you, Rocket Man. Was it Lil Rocket Man? It might have been. Like imagine Saquon Barkley versus Russian soldier. You've been watching a lot of Instagram videos, but yeah, I don't know. They went so far. As one of the politicians that's associated with Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's like ex-boyfriend or boyfriend, whatever, asked President Zelensky, does he own a suit? Why doesn't he wear a suit? Like, why does he come into this country with like not fatigues on, but like, regular gear on? Why doesn't he wear a suit? This man is in the middle of a war. His people are dying every day by the hundreds and thousands. And you're asking him, why doesn't he wear a suit? Why doesn't he look totally detached from his situation? And if you watch the clips, you'll see how Zelensky handled that question. He said, yeah, I own a suit. Maybe next time I wear a suit. Maybe better than yours. Maybe cheaper than yours. Yeah, I appreciated the way he handled the situation. I tried to imagine how I would handle the situation if if I was anywhere near that type of situation, it had to be uncomfortable. It had to be uncomfortable. And I felt sorry. I felt sorry for him, because we didn't have to do that. That exchange didn't have to happen. But to me, it looked like it was orchestrated. It looked like it was orchestrated. Let's get a little poll question going. Let's get a poll question going before we go any further. Okay. The question, this is the poll question. Do you think that what happened between Trump and Zelensky may force the U.S. into war soon? Because World War III was mentioned by Trump. For all my Trump supporters out there that when asked about the positive attributes about Trump, the positive attributes of Trump, they always said he didn't start any wars, no petty wars, no unnecessary wars. He's going to get us out of war. Well, it looks to me like maybe he's pushing us closer into a battle situation. And I don't think that this time we're going to have the opportunity to fight on foreign soil. Something tells me that this has the power to bring the fight right to American soil. Now, once again, if I'm tripping, if I'm taking this too far, let me know. But that's the poll question. That's the poll question. See what y'all think about that. T. Carey Wright, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. What's good? And Ghost and Davon. He said, is Ukraine in NATO? No, they won't let him in NATO, especially at this point, because he's embroiled in a war. Because if he was in NATO, then NATO would be forced to help Ukraine and go against Russia, because Russia isn't in NATO, as you may already know. Yeah, I just posted the poll question, or the pill question, as you say. The pill question is up. But yeah, I don't think that this is going to end well. I don't think that this is going to end well at all. Honestly, this situation makes me uneasy. This situation makes me uneasy. It made me uncomfortable when I was looking at the exchange, because I'm thinking like, yo, yeah, this shit is about to go down. Without, and it's not that I care about Ukraine, but I do care about the United States. This is where I'm from. This is where my people are from. This is where my children are from. My entire family, all of my friends. I mean, I have some international friends. I have some friends overseas in different countries and things like that. But the bulk of all my social interactions are right here. So why would I want this country to be in any type of trouble of being attacked? Why would I want that? It's bad enough we attack each other in this country. We are our own worst enemy. Of course, Donald Trump says that Latinos are our worst enemy. But okay. All right, whatever. I think we all know better than that. But yeah, it's going down. It's going down. And I don't think that people are taking this seriously enough. I know that a lot of people didn't see the video today, and the untrained eye probably doesn't know what they're seeing or what they saw or how to handle that. I get it. But I think that if you're okay with what happened in the Oval Office today, I think that you may be ignorant to how other countries may handle the situation. Okay, with the United States taking away aid to Ukraine, that forces other countries in Europe or other Asian, whatever countries to help Ukraine out. Zelensky may have done a pretty decent job today of martyring himself and martyring Ukraine. He may have done a pretty good job at that. He may have. I thought he handled the situation with a lot of patience, a lot of grace, even though they tried to say that they were bullying him, and they almost made it seem, or tried to trick him into making it seem like he was the aggressor. Patient Block says, I think people will realize how much fraternizing they do with each other against others, and it might cause an uprising. It's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen from here, but the outlook, the prognosis is not positive. I don't think that anything good is going to come out of this situation. I don't know. Can y'all think of any other political exchange where you may have said, "Oh no, that's gonna cause this to happen," or "That's gonna cause these people to get involved," or "That's gonna hurt the United States"? I've never seen anything politically where I could say, "Yo, that right there might cause a war conflict." I couldn't believe my eyes. I was hoping I was dreaming. Yeah, patient said they cornered him big. They trying to tell this man that he caused his country to get attacked by Russia. He wasn't trying to hear that shit. Like, what? You know, Donald Trump always tries to talk good about Putin. Zelensky wasn't trying to hear that shit. Like, what do you mean? You talking all positive about the man that has killed thousands of my people and is doing it right now while I'm over here trying to get help. My people are over there getting fucked up. So every waking moment, every second, every minute, every hour that I'm over here, they're getting killed. And they're fighting tooth and nail, trying to maintain the sovereignty of their country. And you want me to talk nice about him? He attacked us. He invaded us. And then they had the nerve to ask him, does he have a suit? A suit? Man, he's a better man than me. I realized I knew a long time ago, I'm not built for politics. Either I would never get elected or I would probably get assassinated. Either I would never get elected or I would get assassinated. Because Because if they would have asked me, did I have a suit or tried to insinuate that I was being disrespectful because I'm not wearing a suit. Like, why don't you ask Elon Musk why don't he wear a suit? Have any of you ever seen him in a suit? Because I don't remember seeing him in a suit. You know, hopping around on stages at rallies and shit with his little medium ass shirt, jumping up in the air, showing his belly, looking like a little fruit, acting like a big ass kid, a 50-year-old kid. Why you ask him? Hey, yo, why you be coming in? Why are you in the Oval Office hanging around the president and you don't have no suit? Why don't you have no suit on? Where's your suit, Elon Musk? Why don't I ask him that? Why didn't I ask him that? I think it's a valid question. I haven't seen him in a suit. Have you seen him in a suit? I didn't see him in a suit. Yeah, Elon, when are you going to stop disrespecting the office of the president of the United States and dress appropriately? Stop wearing sneakers and jeans and a little short ass suit and that little punk ass sports jacket that you wearing, looking like undersized for Don Johnson back in Miami Vice or some shit. Petro says Elon Musk is always in a suit. No, he's not. I've never seen him in a suit. Or maybe we have a difference in what we think a suit is. I know he's always in a t-shirt. He's never in a tie. Oh, Petro says Democrat men wear dresses. Oh, yeah? Oh. Well, maybe your grandfather is a Democrat. Fontaine. You know, Fontaine Petro the first. No? Maybe. Patient Block says, I said the same thing, though most Americans will try to separate themselves from us. Yeah. I guess if you think that the United States is just this big and bad, strong country that can do whatever they want to around the world and they'll never feel any backlash or they'll never have to answer for any of the things that they've ever done, then I guess you'll be okay with what Donald Trump and J.D. Vance did today. But, you know, Goliath had his David. Debo had his Craig. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So no war has ever been fought on American soil besides the Civil War and possibly the Spanish-American War. However, the areas that they were fighting in wasn't considered America yet. Central Valley TC says 559 says, worry about yourself, bro. What does that mean? What does that even mean? You mean worry about yourself? What does that mean? Am I missing something? Petro says grandfather is Jewel Jackson, R.I.P. Marine veteran. And yeah, my dad was a Green Beret. So my dad was better than your dad. My dad was Rambo. Could your grandfather beat my dad? He couldn't. My dad was Special Forces. He was Rambo. You couldn't beat Rambo. But none of that shit fucking matters. You know what I mean? You sounding crazy and really kind of stupid, but it's okay. It's okay. You know what? If you really want to sound stupid, if you want to remove all doubt that you might be a fool, there is a phone number right there. I know you can see it. It's pinned right there at the top. If you like to call in and express yourself, this is a totally uncensored show. I'll give you the floor. I don't interrupt. If you've never been to this show before, you know I'll give you the floor. You get to talk. I don't cut you off after 2 minutes or try to make it. There's no call screener. You know what I mean? You come right off the head, right from the heart. 267-874-1949. 267-874-1949. 267-874-1949. That's the number to call. I said a 267-874-1949. Yes, y'all. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 267-874-1949. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 267-874-1949. Dial 267-874-1949. I'll get you right on. The lines are open, and you can say whatever you need to say. So, you don't have to be a keyboard gangster. You don't have to hide behind your little punk-ass moniker. You know what I mean? You can actually make your voice be heard. Now, I know that none of y'all, you don't have the balls to do that because normally people who support Trump they don't want to talk because they're easily debunked. And they normally don't know what they're talking about. And I'm sure that this is no different. I smell pussy. Your pH balance is off, dude. Your pH balance is off. Central Valley says, what is it that you do, bro? What am I doing? What the fuck you mean? What is it that I do? What are you worried about it for? What do you do? Worry about what you do. Right now, you came to my show, so it's obvious what I do. You saw it says Sun 752. That's me. This is what I do. I'm a man with a microphone and a camera and a bunch of lights. Buttercup 25, what's good? Buttercup 25, what's good? Good to see you. Thanks for coming on through. So yeah. So if you saw the video today, now I can pull it up. I don't really want to play it, but I'll do it. I'll play it. Let's see. All right.
For death.
All right.
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal? It doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. One more question.
I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014 and
2014?
2015.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but,
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broke this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this
Have you
conflict.
ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know that what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have
And do you think that it's respectful
I will answer.
to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning. Sure. First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right
From
about
the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not in a
Mr.
good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you don't
I'm
have
very serious,
cards.
Mr. President. Very serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives of
anymore.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you think
You're
about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to you.
Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting, you said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of
We are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and not
haven't been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid
thank
president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and your
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about Vance?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you didn't
this-
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that there,
simply
except
to American people.
except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you'd take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what
that wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
That was with
Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It'll be a tough deal to make, because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do we do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if he can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that.
All right. Woo! That was what happened in a nutshell. So yeah. So so I see we have some people who say that it's great to have a strong president. It always amazes me when people call Trump strong, like he's a pussy. I mean, he really is. Like, I guess we've gotten into an era where words really do mean more than actions, because he talks a good one. He makes threats. He says shit. But I'm wondering what everybody means by strong. Like, I can tell somebody like him has never gotten into a fist fight in his life. You can always tell when somebody has never gotten into a fist fight. And just because Hold on.
You have a call.
Hold on a minute, caller. Just because somebody has been in a fist fight doesn't make them strong. There's a difference between, fortitude, physical strength, strength of mind. You know what I mean? There are differences, major differences. Zelensky is a disgrace. Well, it's funny because y'all look at a convicted felon and a rapist as strong. And y'all stupid because he has y'all believing that, nah, it's all a hoax. Every time, I've never seen anything like this before. Every time he gets into some shit and he can never keep his nose clean. But every time he gets himself into some shit, it's a hoax. I've never even heard a person use the word hoax as many times as I've heard him use that word. It's a hoax. It's a hoax. He just said it. Oh, that was the Russia hoax. Anytime he's in hot water, it's a hoax. It's a hoax. And I'm like, So whenever he's telling on somebody else, it's the truth. But whenever somebody is telling on him, it's a hoax. Yet nobody ever gets indicted or arrested when he tells on them, but he gets indicted and convicted when they're telling on him. But that's a hoax too, right? It's because everybody is against him. He's just a modern day Charlie Brown, huh? Nobody likes him. Yet 70 million of y'all voted for him, but nobody likes him. Well, interesting. Karen Cannon. What's going on, Karen Cannon? She says, America should uphold democracy. I don't think the GOP, I think the word democracy has fallen by the wayside because, conservatives used to believe in the Constitution, but MAGA Republicans want to get rid of the Constitution. They want to rewrite the Constitution. They want to violate the Constitution, and they don't want any consequences for it or any backlash, and they don't want to have to answer any questions. And if you question them or you fact check them, then you're being disrespectful. Just like Zelensky just did. He quit. All the man did was ask, well, what kind of diplomacy are you talking about? When you talking about the man who invaded my country, bombed my country, that I'm in the war right now with in my country, and we had a deal, we had a ceasefire deal before. He broke the ceasefire. So what makes you think that he won't break it again? And Donald Trump's answer is, oh, he only broke the deal because Obama and Biden weren't strong enough for him to keep his promise. But I am, because they respect me. Where have you seen, what evidence have you seen that Putin respects Donald Trump? I'm looking for it. I heard an interesting assessment about this whole situation today. I heard somebody say that it's obvious that Donald Trump is in bed with Putin. But people were wondering, like, well, what could Putin have on Donald Trump? Because whenever Donald Trump doesn't talk bad about somebody, there's something going on. Because he doesn't keep friends. He doesn't keep friends very long. First, he starts off talking real nice about you. Oh, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. high IQ. You're the greatest. You're the smartest. You're the best. You're the brightest. And then as soon as you're on his bad side, oh, I never was a fan. I don't really know him that well. Like, you are on tape. You are on multiple videos talking about how well you knew the person and how much you know about them and how great they are, smart they are, talented they are, how much and why they are the best. Now all of a sudden you don't know them. You were never a fan. Didn't really know him that well. I don't have any information. He did that with everybody who went to jail for him. But dumbass Trump supporters, they want to say, well, no, Trump is telling the truth. Democrats are just mad because he's telling the truth. We finally have a president who tells the truth, but that same president cannot survive fact checking ever, and he can never provide details. Instead, he'll say something like, "Oh, I won't discuss that here." Or he says things like, in 2 weeks, I'll have an answer for you. Or we'll have a plan in 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks comes, nothing. Then 4 weeks come, nothing. And then 4 months come, nothing. And then 6 months, a year, nothing. But that's your man's. That's your man's. It's all good, though. Nicholas Canada says it's clear he does. He does what? It's because Trump has money. Yeah, he has money. I mean, that's why people follow behind him. They think they're going to get some money. Vita, what's good? How you feeling, ma? Good to see me some you. And also my man X-Ray Koala. What's good, man? It's good to see you. Always great to see y'all. Always great to see y'all. Vita says, I have no idea, but I am pissed off. Gotta go back to the office full time because of Trump. Yeah. How are things on the East? Man, when the East is in the house, oh my God. I mean, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's what I'm used to. Nicholas says, respect him. Nah, fuck him. And I mean, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about with a spiked bat. Spiked bat to sphincter muscle. Fuck out of here. Yeah, him and JD Vance. Okay. Chris says, do you really think Harris would have been a good president or Sleepy Joe? But have you ever really thought that the only reason you call him Sleepy Joe is because that's what Donald Trump? I mean, y'all some dick eaters. I don't understand this shit. You are actually calling Kamala Harris out of her name and calling Joe Biden Sleepy Joe because Donald Trump did it. You are a dick rider. You are. You and all of y'all. Y'all are amazing. Y'all got the superhead twist going. I don't know if he got enough dick for y'all to be on it, but y'all are too much. This shit is crazy. No other president has sold hats and sneakers and watches and Bibles and coins, and y'all buy all of this shit. Y'all are fans. Y'all are not supporters. You're fans. Y'all are grateful. Y'all deadheads. Y'all are Swifties. Y'all are the Beehive. This is crazy. Your president is selling you shit and you're buying it. He is controlling your slang and you are talking it. And y'all got the nerve. I ain't never heard a motherfucker running around talking about Joe Biden this, Joe Biden that. I ain't never saw it done. I've never seen a Joe Biden t-shirt, hat. I've barely seen stickers. Have I seen bumper sticker? I'm not sure. But an interesting thing happened. This whole Russia Trump connection. And I was wondering, what could Biden, what could Putin have on Trump? Well, you know what? Look in the chat right now, y'all. Look in the chat. You know what's missing from this chat that it would have been full of in June, July, especially August, September, and October. Do you know what's missing? Mad trolls coming through saying Trump 2024. Mad bots. Trump 2024. My chat used to be full of them. Full of them. And I used to be thinking, like, what the fuck are he coming from? After the election, all of those trolls, all of those bots, they stopped. Now, it could just be speculation. We know that Putin helped Trump get elected in 2016, and he definitely helped him in 2020. But no way could he have helped him in 2024, right? Where are the trolls? After Trump got in office, YouTube changed their algorithm, Twitter or X changed their algorithm. Well, I think Elon Musk single-handedly stole the election for Donald Trump, but that's a whole nother story. But it's really not a whole nother story, because if you take the second most popular social media platform and you change the algorithm so Trump is more all pro-Trump posts are more visible and all anti-Trump posts are deleted, blocked, and hidden, because he can do that. He can do that, and he did. But where are all those trolls? Now, you can call some of y'all trolls. You can call y'all trolls, but it's nothing like there used to be. I mean, there used to be so many of them. And right after the election, they disappeared. Now, you could argue and say, well, they didn't need to say Trump 2024 anymore after he won. It doesn't work that way, son. They all went away. No need for any bots anymore. Those bots were gone. But they did their job. They put out the propaganda. They demoralized and fucked up shows, and hosts were, having to block them all, and they caused a lot of chaos. Let me see. Where we at? Chris says you're really the only person on YouTube what is angry about Trump except for trans. Should I even ask? I mean, look, Chris, you know you're not a real man. You know you're a bitch. I mean, I can't see what you look like, but look at me. I attract women. Women are attracted to me. I'm handsome. You know what I mean? I talk that good shit. I got muscles and shit. Look at me. I'm big. I got a wide back, big shoulders. Look at me. I'm healthy. I'm 54 years old and I still got it. I could scoop shorties, younger shorties if I wanted to. You can never do that. You can never compare to a man like me. But that's not what's important. What's important is that I stand on business and I stand on principle and I stand for what's right. So y'all little nut shit that y'all talk about trying to throw somebody off of a square. And I've never been impressed by any man that sucks the dick of another man. So one thing you can never say about me is that I'm up here caping for somebody else. I may be anti-Trump, but who am I pro? Who am I up here promoting? Huh? Because you can go back. I do a show every night, every day. And it's been that way since 2014, October 1st, 2014. Now go back and find me a show where I have said, this man is the man. Maybe my father. That's it. You cannot find where I've ever rode anybody's shaft. But you, my nigga, you got a fucking water slide on Trump's dick. That's how y'all roll. And if you have children, like if a woman would actually procreate with you, imagine your kids have to listen to you ride the dick of another man who's corrupt as fuck. That shit's nasty work. That's nasty work right there. Echo 6 says, you stand on business, so does Donald Trump. And I think he's got more money than you in bank, homie. When I say business, I'm not talking about finance business. I'm talking about standing on business as far as standing on principle. If Donald Trump stands on business more than me, then why does he change his stance? I know he's an older man and maybe he can't remember all the things that he said, but why does he deny that he said things that are on video? And when it's played for him, he like, well, because he know y'all not going to check him on it because y'all dick riding. He said you need to, I don't have bags on my eyes. My eyes are naturally dark, dumbass. My eyes are naturally dark. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. They're actually very pretty. You know what I mean? I'm one of them pretty-eyed motherfuckers. But see how you are see what you're trying to do? Because you don't have an argument. So like you'll never see me change my stance on anything that I say. If I said it 5 years ago, I'm saying it today. Only thing I will ever change my stance on is to improve on something that I wasn't as good on before, or that I wasn't as good at before. Other than that, I don't change how I feel about people. I'm very perceptive, intuitive too. So I know good people when I see them. And I know a fucking con artist when I see it. And Donald Trump has made his entire fortune off of branding. He hasn't really done anything. He had 4 casinos in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He bankrupted 4 casinos. Remember that you know that old saying, the house always wins? Well, not when it's Donald Trump. The house doesn't win when it's Donald Trump. How many casinos does Trump have in Vegas? Does he have any left? Let's Google that. Since he's this great businessman. How many casinos does Donald Trump have in Vegas? Oh, Donald Trump doesn't currently own any casinos in Las Vegas or in the United States. What are we doing? Let's ask another question. Did Donald Trump used to have casinos in Las Vegas? Donald Trump partnered with Phil Ruffin to build a condominium tower in Las Vegas, but the project didn't include a casino. Tower is now Trump International Hotel, Las Vegas. Okay, so he didn't have any. It says Trump also had casinos in Atlantic City, but he ultimately took them public to unload his debt. Oh. Although Trump held a Nevada gaming license, he chose not to include a casino on the property. Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump, later said, "We have no problem getting a gaming license, but we wanted to do something different. We wanted a true luxury resort experience. It couldn't be because you suck at the casino business. Get the fuck out of here, man." I mean, I don't know who y'all think y'all dealing with. Y'all little small fries be coming up in here like y'all know something. Like, I ain't no fucking dummy. You know what I mean? Y'all see a black man up here talking shit. You think I'm a fucking dummy? You think I was you think that I would get up here, sit in front of this camera, invite you to dial that fucking number and not know what I'm talking about? Maybe some people would do that, but I ain't that kind of man. My daddy said, "Yo, it's better to keep your mouth shut and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt." Rest in peace, Dad, because he taught me well. So he told me, make sure you know what you're talking about before you start talking. And so I always do. You're not going to come on my show and beat me, because I only talk about things that I know about. I don't talk about anything on this show that I have to guess. Nothing. And I know that you're not the same. Because if you were, then you would ring that phone. But I know you're too pussy to do that. You would never do that. First of all, y'all probably can't put together sentences. There are only certain people who will call into this show because they are not afraid to have their voices heard. They know how to put sentences together. They know how to string a complete thought. Y'all can't do that. Y'all are keyboard guys. I don't want them to hear what I have to say. I sound like, because you might sound like a bitch. You write like a bitch. You might sound like one. Chris said, "Have you ever looked up that saying your dad didn't?" I didn't say he made it up, dickhead. I said he used to say it. Damn, you dumb. You're a bad listener too. You're a dickhead. I never said he made it up, motherfucker. I said he used to say it. He used to say a lot of shit. You can't be made it up. The motherfucker was smarter than you. He was wise. Real wise, you know what I'm saying? Not like you. You dumb. He was smart. You dumb. All right. Dimples D's, what's going on, man? How you feeling? How you feeling? X-Ray Koala says, echo big tripping. Yeah, these motherfuckers, man, they listen. These some lonely bitches in here. They are, man. These are some no pussy getting. Yo, you can always tell when a man ain't slid up in no vagina in a long time. Because he too busy riding. How you gonna slide into some ass when you too busy sliding down the shaft of the penis of the president of the United States of these Americas? Let me see how we doing with the poll. On the poll question, do you think that what happened between Trump and Zelensky may force the U.S. into war soon? Okay, 60% say no, 40% say yes out of 25 votes. So that pretty much means that 20 of y'all think that it won't push us into war, but 40% of y'all think that it will. Well, no. My percentages are off because it's 40, 60, 40. So it's pretty much like 10 of y'all say yes, 15 of y'all say no. Okay. That's not bad. I question y'all ignorance though, because I don't think y'all understand the seriousness of this situation. Jen Ramirez. Chris says, and you might be on Epstein's list. Well, we know Donald Trump actually was on Epstein's list. We know that was his friend. That's why he not releasing those files. Like, I'll release those JFK files and Martin Luther King files. Nah, fuck that Epstein shit. Oh shit, my bad.
You have a call from
Troy. My bad, my brother, my mellow, my man. My bad, my dude, man. I was duking it out with these bitch ass. I'm sorry. Yeah.
What's up, man?
I'm sorry, man. I was dealing with these sorry ass niggas.
I heard you, man. I heard everything you were saying, bro. And I agreed that a 10 out of a 10. The stuff you were saying.
Love is love, baby.
It's amazing because you were saying what could Putin have on Trump. You do remember that Trump had the Miss Universe pageant over there in Russia at one point. So there could be video or pictures of him with other women screwing. Putin could have done a ditty on him over there. And he didn't know that he was being videoed or pictures was taken of him. You know, the whole thing about Putin is that he wanted Trump back into the presidency to use him as his puppet again. Back in 2016, he did the same thing. I've never seen nobody act like a puppy dog around another grown man. Never in my life did I see anybody act like a puppy dog around another grown man, like Trump did when he went over to Russia to have that meeting with him. Even when he did with Kim Jong-il, whatever his name is, did the same thing. Act like a puppy, making it seem like, you know who he reminds me of? You seen the movie Die Hard, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The part when the guy that was that thought that he knew about the Bruce Willis character. He's like, let me go talk to him. He's like, come on, Bubby, I can help you find out who he is. This, that, and other. And they wound up killing him because he thought that he was smarter than everybody else, that he could talk his way out of everything. He reminded me of that one, the one that got killed by the one that was robbed in Yakitori Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he reminded me of. Because he thinks you're not God. He thinks he's a God. He's a king. Only I can do this. Only I can. No.
Well, anybody else who would talk like that, you would flee them off. Like, man, if you don't go somewhere with that dumb shit you saying, they actually believe that shit. They say it too. No. They say it too. Look. Hold on, Troy. Let me ask you this. All right, when Trump came into office, he brought back the word IQ. When was the last time you heard anybody talk about IQ or IQ tests before then?
No, I haven't. I haven't. Not at the presidency level. For what?
He got motherfuckers talk about IQ tests. Only people who talk about IQ tests were people born in the fucking 40s, 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe in 60s. They don't give out IQ tests anymore. They don't measure intelligence by that anymore.
They might as well give us California Achievement Test again.
When I say that these cats are chewing on testicles, I'm not kidding. This shit is bad. Yeah, who talks about IQ tests? This dickhead is in the comments talking about some. My IQ is 145. I bet you I'm smarter than you. I told him to call in. He too pussy to call in. Like, well, how do you want to prove?
Who is that you talking about?
Crispy Bacon.
Oh, Chris Port Bacon.
Man, that motherfucker. Look, that motherfucker is turkey bacon. You know what I'm saying? Real. You know what I'm saying?
It takes me out, man. Him and Echo need to go screw each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Them kids. Yeah, they I wouldn't say that they different, but they more the same.
But they do you do realize that Obama didn't go through no problem with Russia nor Ukraine. Ukraine wasn't at war when Obama was in office.
Listen, you don't have.
Why are you bringing up? That's how you know.
You don't really. Yeah, go ahead.
That's how you know he still has a cross to bear for Barack. Because he know Barack did 8 straight years. Everything was smooth. He had his little problems, but he didn't have no wars. He got Bin Laden. He did what he had to do with Bin Laden. He had more people out of the country from
no.
He had more immigrants taken out of the country than any other president.
He had conflict. He had conflict.
No, he did. But I'm saying he had conflicts, but they weren't like this.
No.
And he handled them in a different way.
No.
He didn't say nothing about.
Hold on. I don't want to do what these motherfuckers are doing, because see, this gives them fuel. No, I'm not talking about Biden tonight. I'm not talking about no Obama tonight. We're going to talk about what happened between J.D. Vance, Trump, and Zelensky today. I ain't going to, because once you start talking about other presidents and all of that, now you play right into their hand, because you allow them to move the needle.
I was reiterating the fact that he keep using past presidents.
That's what I'm saying. Don't let them do that. Talk about what happened today. Talk about what happened today. I mean, talk about how he said on multiple occasions that he would end the conflict. He would end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours once he became president. That's what he said. Well, it's been the war is not over. Even as of today, the war is not over. It's been a lot more. It's been 30 days of 24 hours plus. And when is he going to get them both in a room and know exactly what to say to both of them and get a deal made in the war? When is that going to happen? When is that going to happen?
Not never.
Well, because of what happened today, something has to happen tomorrow. Because of what happened today, because the world saw how J.D. Vance and Trump handled that situation with Zelensky today, there are going to be consequences. Anybody who thinks that there won't be consequences because of what happened today is a fool. And there are many fools. Anybody who thinks that was a show of strength is a motherfucking fool.
Yeah.
But there are many fools. There are millions of them. But I think that politics has now entered into the WWE phase.
Yeah, because when Trump was talking, I was waiting for him to come up with the Randy Savage voice. Oh yeah. I was waiting for him to do that too.
But the thing is, it's about to get worse than the ECW, because them motherfuckers broke backs. They really got hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just hope and pray. I hope and pray that he don't use our younger generation as and they become casualties of wars don't have nothing to do with.
Well, it ain't gonna be no 30, 40, or 50 years old. 6-year-olds going into the draft or fighting on the front lines. So who you think is going to do it? So
I'm just saying. I just hope that he don't create that. I mean, that shit is going to be.
I think he created it today.
Yeah.
I think you're not going to be able to walk that shit back. You can't. He pretty much effectively ended all aid to Ukraine. Now, that's not the problem. But the way that he did it in his presentation and the way that he openly aligned himself with Putin, that's the real problem. Yeah. All right, we're about to have some fun now. Hold on a second.
You have a call from.
All right. Oh shit! What happened? Somehow she got cut off. If she don't call right back, I'll call her back. But yeah, it's you're not what happened today. You can't put a Band-Aid on that. You're not going to be able to do that, and that's about to be a major problem because. All right, making America first is one thing, but he actually hasn't done that. What you have done is you've made America alone. Unless you want to say that you the only people that you have aligned yourself with is definitely Putin and Russia, maybe North Korea, maybe China. I don't really think so because you got the tariffs on China. So I don't think they really appreciate that right now. All right, let's try it again.
You have a call from.
All right. Caller with the last number is 5639. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hey, good morning, night, everybody. Hey, Troy.
How you doing?
All right. So.
I know you've been winding up this pitch all night. You know?
Have not. I've been very busy. And I thought we were starting at 2, and it looks like we started a little earlier, so I missed a lot of everything, I guess.
Yeah, well, we in the mix right now. We good.
So I don't even know where to begin with any of this, to be honest. I'm still trying to wrap around everything that I experienced. And I had a very long conversation with my dad, who is 80+ years old, and he can't believe what he saw today. This is unlike anything this country has ever experienced. No matter who's ever been in office, they at least had diplomacy about them and knew how to conduct themselves in a presidential manner. And this skin bag waste of oxygen obviously has no kind of decorum about him at all. And then for the other idiot who has been bent over, taking it rammed in him since day one, pops out and just, he should never speak the way he's allowed this man to disrespect his family, and he still kisses the ring like a jackass. Mm-hmm. And for the people who don't think this is bad, this is far worse than we could ever begin to believe, because immediately after this happened, the BBC started rolling out information, and all the other world leaders who are not siding with MAGA and Putin they are starting the process to prepare for war. Even though some already were in the process, but they just start aligning themselves together. The reason China, I believe, and of course I don't know any of this, what I'm about to say for a fact, but I feel like the reason China chose to abstain when it was time to, when the question came about where they stand on different things, China did not choose one or the other. They chose to abstain. I believe it's because they were waiting to see the colors on the wall. And now that they see, they have decided to join the pact. So not only is the EU preparing, but Mexico is preparing to go along with the EU. Poland is preparing to go with the EU. China is preparing to go with the EU. Some of the Caribbean states are preparing to go with the EU. All these people, all these other places are preparing to go to war. And the United States is going to be the target. And the reality is, at the end of the day, no matter how much he thinks we have an alliance with Russia, we do not. There is no honor amongst thieves. And never, ever has Russia nor North Korea ever been in alliance with the United States, nor has the Saudis. At the end of the day, we are the enemy to everyone. And to get in bed with those is the most ridiculous thing, because at the end of the day, they have become allies, because the enemy of my enemy is now our enemy. And we don't pretend to be friends.
Yeah, right.
For our common enemy. And the United States is the common enemy of most of them. So we are in a bad place now. And to that display yesterday, that is the candles on top of the icing. It's not the icing. It's a fire that's lit. I don't know if anyone even is aware of the fact that last week in the middle of the night, the United States led a nuclear test over Kiev and Mexico. The United States led it. They said the American B-52 bombers were first, and then Russia decided to do something. That already was a bad taste in the mouths of many. It did not look good to NATO. And we all know once you decide to strike out against that force, then you become the enemy. Because there's an allegiance. It's been in place for a very long time. Think about it, this man has everybody so discombobulated with a bunch of other chaos, and then he slides other stuff in the middle of the night, early in the morning, because he's just wide awake, just being an asshole for no reason. The difference between, let me finish, I'm sorry. The difference between them and us, Zelensky is not trying to protect his pockets and his wallets. This is a man who gets up in the morning and dresses to go to war with his country as a fighter. He's not behind a desk in an office somewhere talking. He's out on the front lines with his people, defending his people. And his people defend his people. The reality is we are the laziest people on the planet. That's a fact. Those women in Ukraine will go out and fight with their men. Those women in Mexico will go fight. I'm not going to go fight in a war. I'll be the first to say it. I'm unprepared for that. These other places, every other place outside the United States, they are primed for these things. We are not. And now we have an idiot box who is putting us in a position with his bone spurs, who wasn't even able to go and do shit. He couldn't even go do half of nothing. He couldn't do anything he's not even equipped to go get in a fucking schoolyard fight. But he's aligning us with a dictator who gives zero fucks about him or us. They laugh at him every day.
But
and if you listen to Russian TV, they don't say positive because they don't even trust him. One of the people in Russia said, I don't trust him because he turns on his own people. And if he don't care about his own people, he's going to turn on us too. So we cannot trust him. That's it.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you think that Trump and Vance orchestrated that display that they put on today? Because to me, it looked rehearsed. It looked Well, I don't want to say rehearsed, but it looked like
It
they
was funny.
came in to do this. Like, yo, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind today. Like, today we gonna talk to him. We gonna give him. We gonna talk to him the way he needs to be talked to. Because I mean, Trump calls Zelensky a dictator.
Yeah,
Like,
and he said he didn't say it. Then he said he didn't say it. He said that doesn't sound like me. I didn't say that.
well, yeah. Earlier in the show, I was saying how he forgets that he says things that are right there on tape that he said multiple times. You know what I'm saying? But you know, remember, do you remember when he was running for president, when he would be talking all over the place and not answering no questions and not staying focused, and he called it the weave. You notice he hasn't done the weave since the it ain't been no weaving since he became president.
Of course not. He doesn't have to say it because he can lie.
Well, the thing about it wasn't no weave before. Yeah, motherfucker was just all over the fucking place. He can't, you know, complete a thought. He's not a young man. He's 79 years old. What are we talking about? But anyway, but the thing is, it looked like they conspired to make this thing happen. And I don't know if it was because they didn't actually want to do the press conference. So maybe they found a way to be able to cancel it. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely an interest in withdrawing American support for Ukraine. Now, this whole $350 billion thing. Well, I don't know. Okay, that's Trump and Elon Musk saying this shit, but that's not the actual number. But just like everything else false that Trump says, Trump supporters don't really give a fuck about the truth. They bloodthirsty. They want to crack some heads. They want heads to roll. They want somebody to get hurt. They want to hurt somebody's feelings. They want people to feel bad. And you know, the only time people want people to feel bad is when they feel bad. So when you are perpetually depressed and hurt and down and you know, is sad and feeling insignificant and demoralized, you want other people to feel the same kind of way. You don't want to be the only one who feels that way. So you may mask the way that you actually feel, but as long as you can make somebody feel even worse than you do, then now you validated yourself. And look, and everybody's laughing too. You know, it's like
he hasn't changed. He hasn't talked about the Haitians eating cats and dogs or anything about Haitians since he became president.
Because he didn't need it. And plus he deported a bunch of them.
It was never nothing to begin with. JD Vance hasn't been on the scene.
They admitted that it was a lie. JD Vance admitted that it was a lie. I mean, he said that they just gonna put anything out there, you know what I mean, because y'all don't want to listen to what they saying, so they gonna make you listen. He said that.
I think yesterday was. I think it was more of, we have all the person here. We need to prove that I stopped this war. I made the deal. And now watch this. Watch him sign off on what I want. I'm going to get these minerals and I'm going to do all of this stuff. So let's have a big pomp and circumstance show taking place so I can tell you what I'm doing. And when Zelensky didn't yield, it made him angry. And then JD Vance decided, let me show that I'm still the vice president, and then really I'm not. Elon Musk is the president, and Trump is the vice, or some people say girlfriend. I don't know. In any case, that was for show. That was, let me show my people what I'm doing. Let me show Russia what I'm doing. Let me show the Saudis what I'm doing. Let me show North Korea. But let me show that I'm the man, because you guys think I'm not. I'm the weak one, and I'm not. And I know a lot of people feel like, well, he's going to put the United States and make them a part of BRICS. I said, well, that doesn't sound realistic either, because they would not allow someone who's so weak to be a part of BRICS. Every leader who is a part of BRICS, they all have a stance about them that makes them dictators. He does not have one. So the United States would never be a part of BRICS. It sounds good, and they'll make it sound good, but this is not a space for this country. This baby of a country, this baby of an experiment, because they like to say the American experiment, and that's what it has been, an American experiment. So because this experiment is slowly failing even worse than they could possibly begin to expect, now the fight is to let me get everything I can get from it. Let me drain this experiment until it's no longer an experiment. And that's what he's doing. He is the son of these forefathers that people like to brag about. He is. He is the walking fake bullshit constitution. That's what he is. That's for sure. And he is going to destroy this space. And it's going to affect everyone. And sadly, his corruption is not just for this country. It has a global impact because there are other greedy sources who exist on this planet who want to consume as much of it as they can. And he's so weak and ignorant and stupid that he does not see that they don't give a damn about him. And he thinks this war, because he said it, and immediately after him saying, you are playing with World War III or whatever the fuck he said, because Zelensky had to tell him, he's like, you don't hold the card. He said, we're not playing cards, Mr. President. This is real. And then he went out on the news and still kept talking about he don't have the cards. Idiot, you don't either. Because what he said is immediately he could stop war once he became president. He didn't say once he got at the inauguration or shit like that. He said immediately, once he's elected. He was elected when? There's still a war that exists.
He said within 24 hours.
Yeah, it didn't happen in 24 hours.
He loves to
say
say 24 hours.
48, 72, 10 days, 30 days, 45 days, it still hasn't happened.
All I know is
You're
that
talking in March and it hasn't happened yet.
All I know is that if he was anybody else, people would get tired of those timelines. Like, yo, man, stop that bullshitting. You always talking about what you're going to do and when it's going to be done. It's just like, you ever take your car to the mechanic and they tell you that it's going to be ready. You can pick up your car on Saturday, and then Saturday they don't call you. You call them like, yo, can I come pick my car up? Oh, you know what? We were just about to call you. Oh yeah, we found some blah 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 blah. So we got to do this. No extra charge for you, or yeah, you need to come in and authorize this other thing because we saw something and it's very important that this get fixed, or there was a big blizzard, a secret blizzard that happened and it stopped. All of our technicians, all of our mechanics were out with bird flu, so we didn't have anybody to work on it. But you should be able to pick your car up on Monday. Monday comes. Tuesday it'll definitely be ready. As a matter of fact, we'll come pick you up in the car. You wouldn't be going for that shit. But it amazes me how people.
I don't understand this. We're not these people. Nobody is saying shit. Oh, let me correct it. People are saying stuff, but he has forced our mainstream media to be so fearful that they monitor what they say. So you can't even get enough of the information that we used to be able to get from our mainstream media, because he has a chokehold on it as well, because he's playing games with people's lives. He's playing games with our federal workers. He's playing games with our civil servants. He's playing games with our media. He's playing games with our lives. He's playing games with every part of our being and our existence. And it's still people like Chris P. Bacon in the chat who allow this and go for this. And I'm like, do you understand that this affects you too? This affects you, your children, your family. It affects everybody who exists on this face. All of us on this fucking planet. Right now, I have cohorts who live in the Philippines, and they are fearful of what this man can do. Because if he allows China to take over Vietnam, that includes the Philippines, and that's a problem for them too. They have enough of their fun. He's so worried about what's going on every place else that he can't even give a fuck about the stuff that's going on right here where we live. We just had earthquakes, we just had flooding, we just had severe, horrible weather, but like he said, there's no such thing as climate change, but we see it every day. We are living it on a regular basis. He can't even take care of the people who live right here where he is the fucking president, but he's so worried about what they're doing in Ukraine. And then I see an idiot put out a threat for the people who are in Ukraine, the Ukrainians or who are here in the United States, because we don't have enough problems here. So let's add another problem. He is a dangerous person. Everything he does is dangerous to everyone. And I don't understand how anyone could still sit and think this man is safe. I don't know how anyone could still stand for him. I don't know how anyone can have any decency of humanity in them, a thread of decency, a thread of anything that makes them a person and human, and then mention God in their fucking mouth and still vote and support this psychopath. How? How can you do that?
Hold on a second. Let me ask y'all this. Do you understand what Trump's biggest card has been? Like the consistent theme throughout every executive order, throughout every meeting, even the one he just had with Zelensky. What's the most consistent theme in everything? Like what are the networks really afraid of?
Him.
Wait, what is he going to do to them?
Well, I think we had a discussion about it the other night, and I said when we were talking about the Senate and Congress, you know, when you got control of certain entities.
No, this is an easy answer. This is an easy answer. And the answer is so easy that once you understand what the answer is, then you understand why nothing is getting done. The only thing that they're afraid of when it comes to Donald Trump is he's going to take the money away. All of these networks, all of these reporters, all of these anchors, all of these channels, these stations, he's going to take their channel away and their ability to make money. And that's all they give a fuck about. They don't care about black people, white people, Latino. That doesn't matter. What Donald Trump said to Zelensky today, if you were listening, was, we're not giving you any more money.
And he did it immediately after he said it. Right after his fucking press conference, he went and took the aid from Ukraine. He went and did that immediately after.
So, okay.
I watched this shit.
So listen.
That's what he said to the governor of Maine.
So
I'm going to take the funding away from you. You better do it, or I'm going to take your funding.
Hold on.
That's his stronghold.
Hold on. Slow down. So, in everything that he does, he's not threatening to hurt you. He's not threatening to expose you. He's threatening to break you. So when your biggest trump card, no pun intended, but when your biggest ally really is your bottom line, and he's threatening to take away your bottom line, that's what they're afraid of. They're not afraid of going to court. They're not afraid of people finding out anything about them. They don't give a fuck about that. As long as the money is flowing, they have all the power. But because he is taking away all the jobs that have gotten lost, that's money being taken away. Those budgets are being cut and they're not being replaced. Nobody's asking, well, where's the money going to go? They holding these these promises or these threats of these $5,000 checks, but it's money. So it gets harder and harder to identify the bad guys. Everybody knows Trump is about that money. It's only the dumbasses that think he's about the people. He's been about that cash. He's never been about anything else. But the thing is, NBC, CBS, Fox, Al Jazeera, all of them, it's all about those advertisers. You don't see any networks out here without advertisers. They cannot operate without money. So if he can take away your money, then he can diffuse you. You are no longer a threat. You don't have any broadcasting if there is no money. You have to be able to pay somebody, or you are totally irrelevant because nobody's going to listen to you. The American public, Call his fucking bluff. There is no bluff. They're not going to call his bluff because they in bed with him. They all looking for the same thing. Why do you think MSNBC has changed their whole stance? CNN changed their whole stance. Fox. CBS. I'm telling you. And it's not just going to be them, because if and when he gets them under his thumb, then he's going to start coming for the internet and people's channels like that too. Trust, because a lot of the motherfuckers are on platforms that are giving them platforms like YouTube, like Revolt. Trust me, he's going to come for everybody. So even cats like me, I'm not eating off of this shit. It's not paying me enough for me to have to be compromised. But everybody else will be compromised. Everybody with 1 million or more viewers will be compromised eventually. They will. Trust. Because nobody is in this thing just to tell the truth. Nobody. I don't give a fuck who they are. This shit is a business. It's a business. And he understands that shit. So it's like, all right, yeah. All right, y'all want to talk shit about me? All right, taking away the money. When the Democrats are in power, then they get a chance to fuck with all the money. So some of them are stealing some of them are allocating some, whatever. But there's a lot of it going on. The Republicans, they understand that shit. They've never fronted like they wasn't about the money. But so they let you know straight up and down, like, look, we ain't got time to be getting all into them social issues outside of gun control and outside of the Bible Belt. We don't give a shit about none of that shit. You know what I mean? So we'll fuck with abortion and the NRA, and that's it. All that other shit, let the Democrats take care of that shit. We ain't got time for that shit. We keep our money. We'll keep our mind on the money, particularly with those in the wealthiest. I would say 10%, but really just the 1%. So once you understand that all of this shit is money, it's a fact. He did tell the truth when he said without the backing of the United States, the war would have been over. He doesn't mean because we're helping them fight, because we don't have any boots on the ground. But he needs our money to be able to afford weapons. He needs our money and our artillery to be able to feed his soldiers, to be able to afford ammunition, and to be able to afford firepower. Without that, he's done. So now he's going to have to get it from somewhere else, and he will. But
it's already coming. It's already on the way. It's already on the way. They have got I can't remember if it's 5 million or 5 billion that's on its way right now from the EU. Mm-hmm. So we just cannot. This man has been in his space since 2015. He just has been a presence that needs to go. And unfortunately, even if after 2 years, the Democrats take the House back and impeachment is in place, it is going to take so much longer to clean up this mess. because it is a horrible mess right now.
Wait a minute, I gotta agree. I need to address this silly question in the chat, and maybe it's not silly to some people. Crispy Bacon asked, "All right, if it's all about money, then why didn't Trump take a paid salary and he just gave it to charity? First of all, giving it to charity gives them a tax break. That's number one. And $500,000 a year is nothing to a Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a billionaire or close to it. So what is $500,000 going to do for him? Especially when you are in the office of the United States, for the shit that he sells to his followers on True Social. That $500,000 ain't shit to him. Come on, dog, you gotta be smart. You know, it's just like when people say, well, you know, how can he be a racist when he has black friends or Chinese friends or some shit like that? I'm like, motherfucker, that'd be like saying, well, how can he be gay if he's married to a woman? Like, you ever heard of J. Edgar Hoover?
Yeah.
How about Freddie Mercury from Queen? You ever heard of him? How about Rock Hudson? Ever heard of him? I don't know. How about James Cleveland, the preacher? Ever heard of him? Like, come on, dude. I mean, the level of juvenile thinking. That's why I'm amazed. Like, you actually want to talk about IQ tests, and that's the way you think, dummy. Like, I have arguments with people a lot, you know, online. They'd be like, well, how can Trump be a white supremacist when he has black people doing this and doing that? I'm like, the same way that I can be on a diet and still have a fucking piece of chicken, dickhead. Fuck is you talking about? Fuck out of here.
This conversation that Christy Bacon is having. If he says we all have common ground. If we have common ground, then we should be able to have this discussion. But we're not able to have this discussion because you won't call in for us to have this discussion. And that's fine. You don't have to. My thought is, in this whole conversation, you are supporting this man and you're not saying anything of value that supports what you're talking about. You can't say anything that he's done positive in these first few weeks that he's been in office, this first month. You can't talk about anything positive that he's done that really helps the American people. Everything he's done has been to align his pockets. It has been to help Elon Musk, who really shouldn't have a place here. It's been consistent lies. It's been consistent confusion. It's been consistent chaos since he's been there. He doesn't have anything that benefits anyone. He brings in a cabinet of lunatics and losers, and none of them are of any value. We have so many things that have happened bad here since he's taken office, and he hasn't done anything presidential in response to any of them. That's the sad part. But if it had been any other president, and I'm not just talking about Biden or Obama, I'm talking about the Bushes, I'm talking about the Cheneys, I'm talking about the Reagans, I'm talking about any other president, the world would have, this country would have lost their mind. It would have been like, they didn't say from either party. Their response would be, their president didn't comment on this, they didn't go do nothing, but this man does nothing, and nobody opens their mouth. We have had multiple lives lost in plane crashes. We have had a bus catch on fire recently with children yesterday, I'm sorry. And he says nothing. He doesn't do anything as a president would do. He doesn't acknowledge the things that a president would acknowledge because he doesn't have time for them, because he's so busy causing chaos. Like this dumb stuff, you have 2 million federal workers that you are playing games with. Hey, I need you to send me an email telling me what you did to see if you've done anything of value. Well, apparently they've been doing something of value all this time. This is a man who thinks he brought the word groceries to the table. He's never gone himself. But for some reason, he thought he brought the word groceries to the table when everyone else has had to buy groceries.
Yo,
tell me how that makes sense. How can you even in their meeting yesterday, one of the reporters asked him about something, his dumb ass said, "What is that?" You are a fucking president and you didn't know what it was? How did this man, how was he able to become a president and didn't know shit about it? This is fucking stuff he should know and he didn't know. When he asked it, you could see the reporters cringe. Like, oh my God, what the hell is happening here? That's insane to me. That should have been enough for everybody to stop. And I know all his people who used to follow him, who are now having buyer's remorse, are going and marching at the governors and going off on the governors. We even had a big march in my state, in my city, at our governor's office, our governor's mansion, because our governor is a fucking moron too. And he waits until the middle of the night and does his executive orders that cause conflict in our state because we don't have enough problems as it is. We don't have enough problems in our city that he doesn't resolve. So he is a MAGA person as well and does the same dumbass shit. All these people who have buyer's remorse, instead of them going straight to the source, and yes, they should go to their local politicians because they are constituents of that political party in that space, but they also need to be going to this man here. Everybody should be in front of that White House just the same as the January 6th people, but not coming to riot and tear up shit like morons, but they should be out there protesting in front of that too. If you have buyer's remorse, you should act like you have buyer's remorse. Because these are the same people, if they go to McDonald's and they get a damn sandwich that makes them unhappy, they're going to go viral because they're in there at McDonald's flipping around and spinning over some ketchup and some damn pickles, but they're not going to go to this main person who's causing you real buyer's remorse.
Nah,
See, fuck that burger. You should be concerned about your fucking wallet, your health insurance, your social security, your kids' education, if your kids are going to be able to eat, if you're going to be able to afford your home, if you're going to still have your home, what your taxes are going to be like, are they going to be tripled in what you already pay, if you're going to still have utilities, if you're going to be able to afford your utilities, if you're going to have a vehicle, if climate change is going to come in and wipe us all out, if a disease is going to come in and shred us all apart, and we're not going to know about it because he said, fuck the WHO, the United States doesn't need to know anything that's going on when it comes to fucking health. Because right now, Texas is full of fucking measles. The fucking measles in 2025. We have a measles pandemic in 2025. Are you fucking kidding me? And there's nobody here who understands that. You still around this man's dick sack. You have got to be insane, and you must not have an ounce of humanity in you. So please don't fucking say shit to me about me saying the Constitution is trash, because this fucking country is now the worst piece of trash on the planet because we put a fucking doofus ass moron as the leader of this space, and it's still idiots who support it.
I will not approve that message.
All I know is this: like, Trump supporters are like, they like Cowboy fans. It don't matter how long they go without winning the Super Bowl or making it to the NFC Championship, they still gonna be fans. You know what I mean? This ain't like, see, you'll go to a restaurant, and if the restaurant stops selling good food, you'll stop eating it. But Cowboy fans ain't gonna stop being Cowboy fans. They gonna still say DC4L. You know what I mean? No matter what. So, you know what I mean? This is a different animal. This is a different animal. But yeah, this is like I said, you know, you really have to identify the players in this shit, and it's really hard to identify the good guys and the bad guys, because the people who are really the good guys are not the ones that are controlling the money, but the politics is a money game. So no matter what we see in here, this is not about people. I've been telling people this for years and years and years. Politics is about money. And if it ain't about money, then it ain't about nothing. There are no laws that are created without that don't revolve around money. There are no bills that are presented that don't have anything to do with money. There are no politicians that have a job that doesn't involve a budget and moving from allocating funds from one place to another. Politics is about money. Government is about money. Once you understand that, then you can take your heart out of it. You can take the personal part out of it. That's why I don't talk about who is getting hurt and who is blah blah blah. But I do care about who is going to get killed, because without people, there is no government. There's no without a city hall or White House or a Capitol with people to work in it. If they're all dead because of bombs or gunshots, then what are we talking about? So I take issue with lives being at stake. But as far as everything else,
that is my fear. They decide to one day we wake up and we are in the midst of bombs and nuclear weapons.
Unfortunately, war is all about money too. And that's why no matter what these presidents say to you, they all want a war, because war gives you a chance to occupy territories. And when you occupy territories, you steal shit. Just like with Iraq, they were stealing the oil. With Afghanistan, they were stealing the drugs. And then you want to talk about all of this fentanyl shit and all of this opioid crisis. But wherever, just like in World War II, Franklin Delano Roosevelt wanted to enter World War II because he wanted some of that World War II money. So he set Pearl Harbor up to get bombed because he knew that he had an embargo on Japan, and he had an embargo against Japan with the petroleum. So they didn't have any gas to power to heat their houses, to power their vehicles or their planes and shit. And so he knew if I put my soldiers close to Japan, right there in Hawaii, they'll come right over there and bomb the motherfuckers because they mad at me. And it worked. And and the United States went from almost zero support to enter World War II because they considered that to be a European war that had nothing to do with them, to full support because now they didn't kill American soldiers. And the economy always goes up during wartime. You know, people want to talk about the pandemic and how much prices increase during the pandemic, and that's true. But nobody seems to remember that. Maybe my contractors do. Maybe my contractors remember how the price of sheetrock and wood and what do you call like plywood and all of that shit went up. All of those building materials went up during Operation Iraqi Freedom in Afghanistan. I remember that shit, and they never went back down. I was a home builder, so we used to get sheetrock for $1 something a sheet. It was easy to build a house. We was bitching when it went up to like $3 a sheet. Well, during Iraqi Freedom, with the war in Afghanistan, they said that they needed the sheetrock and they needed the plywood for the soldiers to build bunkers and all of that shit overseas. So, be a patriot. Don't bitch about the prices going up. Just support your troops. Support your troops. War is about money too. So that those building materials never came down. And they were never going to come down because we were never supposed to leave Iraq and Afghanistan. It was never supposed to happen. That wasn't part of the plan. So yeah.
No one wins at war. That's the reality. No one wins at war, and the
powers that be win at war. They want war. They don't have to fight, and they're not going to get killed. So they want war. Smaller countries, Kim, you said something interesting earlier when you first came on, and you were talking about how you were saying something about other countries, they ready to fight and they ready to get down and dirty like in Ukraine. But the reason that they are always willing to fight and participate and fight for the freedom or the sovereignty of their country is because they have to. They don't have as many people as we do. The size of their countries are smaller than ours are. So they don't have 350 million people. I mean, 300 million plus people to be able to just have a military and then have citizens who don't have to fight or whatever. They have to have full participation. So they have to be prepared to go to war. They have to do drills. They have to have military training for their youth and all of that. So they are more prepared for war and less afraid of military action. But it has to be full participation. But just because they have full participation doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win, because they just don't have enough people. You know, when you look at the size of Russia there's more of Russia in Asia than there is in Europe. Actually, Russia is not even in Europe for real. For some reason they want to claim Russia. Russia doesn't even really claim Europe. So they are in Asia. If you look at look at their alphabet, they have an Asian style of alphabet and shit. That shit ain't European writing and shit. You got to be able to draw. They got extra letters and shit. But war always strengthens the economy. Because people support the war, the patriots come out, support our troops. The only time that didn't work was in Vietnam, because Vietnam was the first televised war. So they couldn't hide. They couldn't hide their little nastiness. They couldn't hide their secrets from the American public. You were able to see babies getting killed and innocent people, villages getting burned and all of that shit. And you saw how they said war was hell, but you didn't really see the hell that it was. And they saw that we were part of that creation and promotion of that hell. And they didn't like it. And it wasn't the soldiers' fault. They fought over there just like it was no different in Korea. It was no different in World War II. It was no different in World War I. It was no different in wars. People get killed and people get raped. That's what soldiers do in war. They kill and they rape. And there are no exceptions to that shit. I'm not saying that every soldier does it, but you will not find a company, a platoon, or any regime that doesn't do it. That's what they do. That's how it happens. War really is hell. It's horrific.
I saw that on Zelensky's face. I saw that on his face. Anybody with sense could see that man sitting there. That the pain on his face, the strain on his body, you could see it. Everything in him tightened up. And he was just trying to have a normal conversation with two morons. That's two morons.
One more thing. Be perfectly honest, J.D. Vance wasn't even supposed to be there or be part of that conversation. Nobody's president has ever been in a meeting and even shown on TV. If you ever see a president on TV with another country, the president or anybody from another country that he has a meeting with, it's just him and that person. The vice president is nothing there.
Like he said, this was a photo op. It makes good television. That's what he said. It's going to make for good television, and that's what he was doing for good television.
They set that boy up decent. They set him up. You know what I mean? They set him up. I mean, he didn't have any choice but to feed into it. But he got set up because J.D. Vance is not going to say anything that Donald Trump does not authorize. That's why Trump didn't flinch. Like, damn, Jay-Z, what are you doing? Well, I got this. He didn't do that. Do that. They rehearsed that shit. They knew what they were going to do. They knew. I mean, J.D. Vance is definitely going to follow Trump's lead. I mean, that motherfucker, that little drag queen is on some other shit.
For real, that part.
They're opportunists. Listen, when you the president of the United States, that's a license to steal, and Trump gets it. All presidents do it. But he's just so fucking dirty with it. And he has to support a motherfucker. Like, he don't even have to be a good boy. All other presidents had to be good. He ain't got to be good. He like, shit. These motherfuckers like me to act a fool. I'm going to do it.
One thing he did show us is that we've been lied to forever. He did show us we've been lied to about a lot of things. That's why when people say, you know, I don't believe this is going to happen. He can't do such and such. He's doing it as you said he can't. You can't even get the full sentence out, and he's doing it. That's the sad part. And he's not getting in trouble for anything. And even though there are judges and lawsuits and all these things in place, well, those things were in place before he even ran, and guess what happened? He still got through. He's still here. So even on the other side of it, I'm going to remove all the finance and everything else up. I'm just going to speak for the human part. I can't, first and foremost, my heart breaks for anyone who has to deal with war, because people don't choose to be a part of it. The mothers who have lost their children, whose children were stolen from them, didn't choose to be part of a war in Ukraine, a war in Iraq, a war in Afghanistan. They didn't choose that. They didn't wake up and decide, I want my babies killed. I want my husband taken away from me. I want to be raped. They don't choose that. They are casualties of it. I would never think in a million years that one day we would become casualties of it. But I think about that a lot. I have nephews who are young. I have nieces who are young. I have a son. I have a dad. I have a mom. I have all these people who I love. I have friends who I love. And one day we may wake up and be in the same position. We may wake up and have to live in a dystopian place like in Ukraine. The one thing was Zelensky told him, you would feel this. And don't you tell us, you can't tell us how we're going to feel. He was telling the truth, because we all are going to be casualties of this mess. And anyone who can sit here and say the things they say and support this man, where is your humanity? That's just simple. Where is your humanity? That's why you can't Jesus me when you have no humanity of Jesus in you. You can't God me when you have no God in you. You can't play that game with me and think I'm going to yield to it. When you are a person who supports a man who doesn't have any godness in him, there's nothing about him that equates to belief in anything other than the mighty dollar in himself. That's all he has belief in. He doesn't care about his children. He doesn't care about other people. He doesn't care about humanity. He doesn't care about his own family. He doesn't care about people who are sick. He doesn't care about casualties of war. He only cares about money. And there's nothing godlike about that. So that's one thing you can't do with me. You can't do the religion game with me if you don't even understand it yourself, because you support someone who doesn't give a fuck about it.
That's true.
All right, y'all. It's after 3 o'clock. We out.
We already do that.
Listen, I want to thank y'all for coming through. I do. I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate your commentary. Appreciate the whole thing, the whole night. Listen, y'all have a good night, man. I mean, one way or another, we're gonna get this thing worked out. We're gonna do these birthday shout outs right now, though, and then I'm going to bed. I'll holler at y'all.
All right.
Y'all have a good night. Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. We're about to do these birthday shout outs. Before we do, let's take a look at this poll. We got some good participation in the poll tonight. By the way, hit the like button, y'all. Y'all a little stingy on the likes. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I appreciate it. The poll question is, do you think that what happened between Trump and Zelensky may force the U.S. into a war soon? And 58% of voters said no. But 42% said yes. That's pretty close. So out of 43 votes, that's a that's a significant poll, just for one show. But yeah, man. Hopefully this won't lead to any type of military conflict. But I'd be lying if I said that I doubt that it will. Something is going to happen, and I suggest that we all mentally and physically prepare ourselves for the possibilities that lie ahead. Because this is not this. I don't think this is going to end well. So Tommy Nguyen said he asked, have you watched the thing between Zelensky and Trump? That's what we talk about tonight, my dude. You come to the right place. You come to the right place. Thanks for coming through. Hair Juicer 3000. What's good? Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious last day of February 28th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. My girl, Darlene Maven, happy birthday to you. And Edie, the Desta Nigeri, happy birthday to you. And Julia Mitchell, Nettie Long, Wanda Holiday Wynn, Yojani Almonte, Rosa Laura, Monica Green, Gerald Chavis, and last but not least, my man, Al Peace. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit, and that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious February 28th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, go hard, go for yours, and remember, dump Trump is what they used to say. But he's the president today. So whether you like it or not, I know that the summer's gonna be hella hot. And they ain't gonna have nothing to do with the sun. But I can guarantee 25 won't be no fun. Cause I ain't the one and we ain't the two. So I don't know what we gonna do. But I know for sure it's gonna be a bore. Nope, it's gonna be exciting while we fighting. Civil war might be on the horizon because people is mad as hell, and I can tell that they getting fed up to the hilt, overcoming the brim. Yo, her, him, them, we, us. It's got a lot of fuss, and we ain't down to sit on the back of the bus, Rosa Parks style. No, not the, hold on, let me run it back. I'm not talking about Andre 3000 or the other one, yo, big boy, yo, destroy. It's getting bad, and it's about to get worse, and few of us might end up in a hearse. Or it might be so many of us, it might be a mass grave if somebody don't behave. And I don't think that is going to slow down no time soon. So you better get yourself a balloon and put it over the barrel of the gun. Yo, put a potato on that motherfucker because you ain't the one. And I'm going to tell you, son, and I'm going to tell you, ma, it's going down like a motherfucking piece, Ra. And Ra's the God, son, is the same. And I ain't trying to be out there putting my name on nobody that's trying to take my people down. And I ain't even just talking about black people now. How could y'all vote a nigga in the White House like that? Yeah, y'all believe in it. That's the cat. You know what I mean? Is that's a little pussy, and this thing's getting kind of crazy. Hedges, bushy. I wish the things would get a little calmer. I'm looking for peace, but at least I should be able to turn on my TV without seeing the orange man, and maybe one day when it's done, maybe I can. I gotta survive these next 4 years. I gotta try to get through without the tears flowing down my cheek and coming hard, wetting up my face, taking up the space. This is the case, and we gotta deal with it. I don't know how you really gonna feel. Will it come down to your people, the grandparents, all the way down to the grandkids? I'ma see y'all tomorrow at 1. We gonna be talking about some shit. I hope it's fun. Thanks for all of y'all coming through. Can you hit the like button? Will you do? All of y'all participated in the poll. Can I get a like? Yo, it's out of control. See if some of y'all finally subscribe. This is some bullshit. This shit ain't live. Man, numbers is low. But a few of y'all came down to this show. It's all good. It's all love. It's all wood. I do it another day if I really could. Yo, I'ma see y'all a little bit later, and I hope that 1 o'clock. Actually, we'll be here 1:30. It's not going to be 1 o'clock on Saturdays. It's 1:30 p.m. So in less than 12 hours from now, 10 hours to be exact, we will be back for the Urban Therapy with Sun show. So make sure y'all come on through. We're going to be talking about something dope. You know what I mean? So, come on. 1:30 Eastern Standard Time we'll be on, and we going to light up the grill, have a couple of beers, you know what I'm saying? Smoke a little something, have a little talk, make sure the kids are safe and everything good. Keep the animals in the gate raised. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Roman 951, thanks for coming through. Tommy Nguyen, even you crispy bacon bitch ass, and Full Metal Chad. Cheryl Halsey, what's good, man? Thanks for coming through. I can always rely on you. Kim's Wims, my man Troy Diesel. Who else? Let me shout out everybody who's visible. All of y'all who hung in there late night, hung in there. Can't forget my girl Jen Ramirez, Senorita Ramirez. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. And Chris, even though you talk a lot of shit, I know you love this show because you be coming through and you be participating. So even though you're too scared to call in and using your baby as an excuse, that's some lame ass shit. Hey, listen, I see y'all. I see some of y'all 1:30 p.m. today-ish. Y'all be safe. If y'all going to bed or going to work, because some people work on the weekends, man. Just be careful out there. Peace, y'all.